this entire game most likely will come down to whether or not I am able to knock out his Cyclozar with Heavy Slam. Here, if I don't knock him out and he goes for a knockoff, we probably lose this battle. If we Heavy Slam and we knock him out, we probably win this battle. It's a big turn. It's a huge turn. And with only, what, a minute left on the clock, I had to click the button. Hey, how are we doing, guys? Gray here, and today we've got our week 2 battle of the BBR. This week we're going up against MattOshea and his Montreal Milotics in what is a repeat of last season's final. Last season we were able to get the better of him and win the championship. Can we do it again, this time in a new generation? We'll have to see. Yeah, make sure to go check out Matt. His link will be down in the description below, as well as all the other coaches for the BBR this season. Either be in a website link or actually just a paste, because I don't know, I think the website got taken down. By website I mean YouTube channel, which is quite frankly hilarious. Shout out to D-Ray for somehow getting that banned within like a week. But yeah, make sure to go check him out. He has been popping off recently, and justifiably so. His content is top tier. Whilst you're down there, please leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Support greatly appreciated and really helps out the channel. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the team builder. If you want to skip it, there'll be a timestamp on the screen now. And yeah, I'll see you guys there. Right, so here we are for the team builder, and I'm going to try and get through this as quick as I can. Mainly because I don't remember the team that well, because I did this battle a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I built this team even like further before that, obviously. So I can't really tell you what the EVs are for, but I will tell you what the team is, so at least you know that much. Matt's team is above me now. I think this should be the whole matchup. In fact, we made some trades. We now have a Bomber Snow, we have all 3 Paldean Tauros forms, and we have a Braviary. And we've also swapped our Terra types to Skeledirge and Gallade, being Steel and Psychic respectively. Those trades were made after week 1 went so terribly, getting swept by Amel and his Quaquaval. Made me realise I really didn't have too much for water fighting types. So going into our week 3 matchup, we faced Palafin. I didn't want to be in that situation again. Though Palafin obviously does have some coverage for it, I didn't want to be in a position where I just straight up lost to that one. And also, like, I looked at the rest of the fixtures. Things like Toadscroll really didn't have a great matchup. Whilst I had Girafarig, I didn't ever see come to a game, and whatever the last one is, low kicks. I just didn't feel like it was necessarily that useful. It's a great mon, but it's not that useful in my team. Not in comparison to Paldean Tauros and a Bomber Snow in particular, because they are very nice defensive and potentially supportive options on my team, as well as, like, you know, it can be offensive. They can both be offensive. A Bomber Snow is a threat. But yeah, I'm getting off topic, so let's go ahead and get into our team. Hopefully you've had a good time to look over the matchup. His Terra types, by the way, are Hydreigon with Poison, exactly what we had last week, but we dropped, and Glaceon is Ground. So yeah, he's got very, very scary Terra types against my team. If I had to pick a 6 that are going to come, I think it's going to be Iron Valiant. I can see Goldengo, because it's Goldengo. What's this? Hydreigon, for sure, because it has a good matchup against my own Hydreigon. And also a physical set looks terrifying against me. Slowking, Breloom, and Cyclozar. I can definitely see Sandy Shocks or Garganicle coming to this game. But I think it's going to be the first 6 I said. I'm pretty sure that is his best 6 against me, and yeah, we'll get into our team, because this isn't going to be a particularly in-depth or educational team builder. First up, we've got Skeledirge with safety goals, Unaware, of course, Torch Song, Shadow Ball, Yawn, and Slack Off. It's pretty much just like an Iron Valiant Breloom sort of check. It can attempt to check other things if he doesn't bring Iron Valiant or Breloom for some reason. Let's be honest, they're probably both coming. If it can check one or the other, then we're in a great spot. Safety goals is simply because his hazard setting options aren't incredible, but Breloom clicking Spore on my switch in is incredibly likely, and I don't really have one mon that wants to switch in. Let's be honest, the Bomber Snow's not switching into a Breloom, so my grass type is out of the equation. So I kind of needed a safety goggles mon just to be able to safely switch in to Breloom, albeit it can click Rock Tomb and really do a good chunk of damage and ruin my night. Next up we've got Gallade with the Razor Claw and Sharpness. This is my main Terramon this week. I'm not thinking I'm going to ever Terra Skeleturge because 2 fighting types. Unless they're both out, both gone, I'm just not going to do it. This is going to be one of my endgame sweepers this week. Psycho Cut, Sacred Sword, Night Slash, and Agility. We have got what seems to be a relatively bulky set with a Jolly Nature. I don't ask me what the EVs are. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, this thing hits a lot of this team for a one-shot. Effectively, if I get crits with certain moves, it's almost definitely going to be one-shots. The only things that I think it doesn't OHKO are like Sandy Shocks. I don't think it OHKOs Goldengo if it's defensive. I think if it's an offensive one, it will just one-shot with Night Slash. And there's a couple other things on this team. Garganical, we don't OHKO with Sacred Sword unless we crit. I think even with crit, it doesn't knock it out if it's fully physically defensive. But like, that's it. Literally everything else is dying. So yeah, this Mon, if we get it set up properly, it's going to claim some lives. Next up we've got Hydreigon with the Assault Vest, Dark Pulse, Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, and U-Turn. Very specially defensive this week. It's kind of to bait in Hydreigon. It also baits the Iron Valiant, because we are able to live, I want to say it was a modest Moonblast from Iron Valiant. If it's physical, then I'm fucked. But if it's not physical, then I can possibly bait it and just click Flash Cannon, and Flash Cannon in return does a shit ton of damage. For whatever reason, Iron Valiant's got no special defense. So yeah, Hydreigon kind of just here. It kind of just exists. It's a pivot. It can pivot into Slowking as well. It can pivot into Glaceon potentially, just because, you know, Assault Vest, max for def. Yeah, it's a bulky pivot. Next up we've got Kilowattrel. This thing is my dedicated lead. I am just going to lead off and click buttons. If I see no Sandy Shocks, I'm clicking Thunderbolt over and over and over and over and over. If I do see Sandy Shocks, I'm clicking Hurricane over and over. You get the point. You get the point. If it's Chilly Reception, that's why I wanted to Weather Ball on this, just because, yeah, we're going to do some pretty hefty damage to the Sandy Shocks if the snow is up. I wanted to say hail. It's not hail anymore. Then we've got our Glamora, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Mortal Spin, and Spikes. Pretty standard stuff. Expert Belt just means that we guarantee the 2 KO on max HP Goldengo from memory. That sounds right to me. With Earth Power, Mortal Spin is just mainly for poisons, but able to get rid of any hazards that he does set up, albeit the 6 that I think he's bringing don't have a whole lot of hazards between them. Sludge Wave just hits a lot of things neutrally, if not super effectively. And yeah, we're pretty bulky, pretty fast. It's a Glamora. It's going to probably set up Toxic Spikes at some point. Then we've got Iron Treads with the Choice Scarf, Heavy Slam, Mega Horn, Earthquake, set that one out order, and then Volt Switch. This is just a fast pivot plus potential endgame sweeper if Gallade is unable to do the job. The hope is that between Kilowattrel and Gallade, I'll be able to do enough damage to his entire team. Then maybe I can just come in, click Heavy Slam or click Earthquake with my Iron Treads, and just be able to clean up the game. But this also counts as a fast pivot if I want to use it earlier on in the game. I can also use this to revenge kill. I can use this to potentially break, because it does still a lot of damage, and then Gallade sweep later on in the game. So yeah, that's going to be the team. I know this was a really brief and poorly done team builder. They'll be better. They'll be better from next week. I can promise you that much. But because I've been ill, I'm post-comming the game. I'm post-comming this. It's not ideal, but that's just the situation I'm in. I am feeling a little bit better now, though I probably still will cough through the entirety of the battle. So you got that to enjoy. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. So let's get into the battle. I'll see you guys there. Okay, so here we are for the battle against Matt. Getting straight into this. This, like, honestly goes straight to team preview so quick. For those who missed Team Builder, this is going to be a post-com. I was ill when we played this game, and I just had to concentrate on playing the game. It's unfortunately better now, and week 3 is a live com, I can promise you that. But for this week, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with post-comming once again. yeah, so he brings the Slowking, Hydreigon, Goldengo, Breloom, Iron Valiant, and Cyclizar. That's pretty much the 6 I was expecting. I did think Sandy Shocks was an option. I thought that maybe Garganical was an option. And Glaceon as like a outside chance, honestly, I think it wouldn't have been bad against what I brought. But yeah, he did bring exactly what I expected even. So we should be able to go with our plan. The speed in which I locked that Kilowatt Troll lead. There is no Sandy Shocks. Thunderbolt is free. His only switch into it on his team is his Dragon types, and they don't appreciate those hits at all. So yeah, Kilowatt Troll, lock it in. Going straight for it. This is my wall breaker this week. I'm literally... The plan is just to keep clicking Thunderbolt until I die. However, if I'm not going to claim a kill with it, then I'm not going to stay in and click buttons. His hazard setting options is literally just Hydreigon. So, yeah, not ideal for him. And I should be able to keep getting things in. He actually goes to the time. I didn't see that when I was playing this game. So was this not the lead he wanted? Because it's just Slowking, so he ran out of time. There's a long delay here as well. Yeah, good luck, have fun to Matt. And if you've made it this far, I hope you've made it this far, considering the battle hasn't even started. But please comment down in the description below what your favourite Paradox form is. Mine's Great Tusk, great design, honestly, like Slowking falling into the ground. Yeah, Iron Tusk, Great Tusk even. Great design, great typing. Just a really awesome mon altogether. It was my favourite design from this gen, and yeah, great Paradox. So anyway, getting into this battle. Thunderbolt, incredibly free. Like I said, I don't know why it took me that long to actually click the button, but we're gonna see this Slowking is max Spadef Assault Vest. It ate that hit. It just ate it. Very unfortunate for me, and the Surf in return, I'm pretty sure, was a higher roll unless he had some investment. I knew he was like near enough, if not completely max special defense. So he had to either get a high roll or he had just a little bit of special attack investment. Regardless, I'm not going to risk a potential roll on here because I think both Thunderbolt and the Surf are going to be a roll, and that's a bad time. Here I go into my Hydreigon. Just because I know I can take any one hit if he wants to predict me going into this and just go for like an Ice Beam. Firstly, I would have thought he clicked Ice Beam on that first turn. If he had it, because that would have done more damage. So I felt fairly free going into my Hydra here, knowing he hasn't got the cheer reception as well, so he can't just get that slow pivot off. I go for the U-turn, he does stay in, and I'm thinking, okay, well, he's going to go for Focus Blast, right? He's either going to go Ice Beam or Focus Blast. If he had Ice Beam turn 1, don't know why he didn't click it. Didn't click it turn 2 either. So I'm fully expecting a Focus Blast here, which then makes me think, what is his last moves? Because he's clearly Assault Vest. You've got to assume a Psychic type move's coming in. Potential Future Sight, potentially Psychic. We do get this call right. And I can't see him staying in, even with the max Spadef Assault Vest. He doesn't take a Shadow Ball from this range. I think I'm contemplating just going straight back out into Hydra. There's a strong chance I thought in my mind that Cyclizar is going to come in, but I didn't want to just guarantee, like, I didn't want to play off of that and then have to take a move with my whatever comes in if he makes a prediction. So Yawn seemed like a fairly free play, because if he goes out into Cyclizar, it forces a U-turn. Can't be Shed Tail in this league, it is banned. So force a U-turn, which gives me potential to stay in here. It also means I can go out to my Glamora and get up a Toxic Spike, and if he U-turns out, something else has got to take that Toxic Spike. So yeah, I'm just going to go out to Glamora eventually, whenever I decide to click it. And Skeledirge honestly has got a big weight on his shoulders. I can't have it knocked off. It still needs to switch into Breloom, it still needs to switch into Iron Valiant. Knockoff doesn't do a lot, but it does enough that it's a problem for me. And honestly, Glamora isn't doing the most for me in this game. It's basically going to be here for hazards. It's potentially going to get some damage off on this. Hopefully we can get some damage off on a Goldengo as well with a good prediction. But yeah, he goes for the knockoff. He's going to go to sleep, which actually happens before it knocks off the item. That's weird. Yeah, so I'm just going to set up my hazards. I don't know whether or not he's going to want to stay in. there's not really a whole lot that Glamora can do to really punish this being asleep, so I kind of half expect him to stay in and just burn a turn asleep. He may want to switch out to Goldengo to try and prevent any kind of damage going in on this thing, but it does have Regenerator, so at the same time, it makes sense for him to at least try and take a one hit and burn a turn asleep, especially if he's bulky. If he's offensive, then we have a chance of 2-hit KOing with Sludge Wave, but as we're going to see, he's going to stay in, and like, that was obviously a very tough decision for him. We're going to set up the spike. Now there's a strong chance that Rapid Spin is going to come in. Whenever it is, Rapid Spin is going to happen. And the way that Toxic Debris and Rapid Spin works is that if he Rapid Spins, then the Toxic Spike goes up and then it gets cleared. So we wouldn't be able to get any hazards up from that. I'm tempted to just go into Skeledirge, expecting the Rapid Spin. And I don't remember I do it on this turn or next, but no, I don't do it on this turn. I decide in the end that I'm just going to go for the Sludge Wave. If he's happy to stay in and just burn the turns, I think with the Spike and a Toxic Spike up, strong chance that he's going to want to try and remove those hazards, so this should be free damage. As he does stay asleep for one more turn, and that shows me that he has got HP investment. I don't know whether he's got special defense investment as well. I didn't really take enough time to calc, but I knew he was bulkier. He's still faster than my Glamora, so he has got some speed investment, but it's also a case of him having probably like max HP somewhere around there. So he's actually going to stay asleep again. I'm sure he's going to go for the Rapid Spin. These plays don't make a whole lot of sense, because I want to block the Rapid Spin, but then I also realise that I can't block the Rapid Spin and not lose an item on a Mon that wants to keep his item. I can't go into my Kilowatt Troll is taking too much damage, I don't want to lose the Assault Vest. My only switch in is going to be Glamora. So I go out into Glamora again on what I assume will be a knockoff, and then he's going to go Rapid Spin on the next turn. If he wakes up, then I'm just going to go for the Mortal Spin. That chip damage is going to be potentially huge for the rest of the game. And yeah, we do see the knockoff. If he'd gone for a Rapid Spin or a U-turn on that, I mean, U-turn wouldn't have helped him much. If he'd gone for a Rapid Spin, expect me to switch out. Would have been a good play. But yeah, I'm just going to go for the Mortal Spin, as he is almost definitely going to spin those hazards away. I really want to punish any potential U-turn if he decided that turn he wants to U-turn out. But yeah, like I say, fully expected the Rapid Spin. I kind of accepted at this point that I wasn't going to be able to keep these hazards up, but the poison is a good trade. Now, here I feel like either he's expecting me to go for another spike, or I'll go for a Sludge Wave hoping for the roll, or just being able to kill after poison. Don't expect him to want to stay in, so I just go for the Earth Power, expecting Goldengo to come out. And as we see, Unchained, I like, what is Unchained? That is the Goldengo. And this is going to do an absolute fuck ton. Yeah, that's an offensive Goldengo if ever I've seen it. I cannot take a hit from an offensive Goldengo to save my life. However, I have my dedicated switch in, being the Hydreigon. Eventually I'm going to go into it, and unless you predict makes a really nice read here and just goes for a Focus Blast, he is not going to be able to really do too much damage to me. And Make It Rain would kind of hurt, but I guess he didn't want to go for that. What could have come in? I'm sure there's a reason why he clicked that. The Spadef drop, however, does kind of suck a little bit. What I forget is that actually he doesn't know that I'm not faster. So I'm just going to make like a mid-ground and go out into my Kilowatt Troll, I think. Do I have Kilowatt Troll? I don't know. I don't know what I go for. It's been a while since I played this battle. Do I stay in? I felt like I probably do take a Focus Blast now. I am going to go out into Kilowatt Troll. I don't know whether I was planning to sack it, but I was pretty sure that if he was going to change moves there, he's going to go for a Focus Blast. So that makes sense. Now, last time this altercation, are they the same word? I don't know. But last time this happened, I went for the Thunderbolt, and he would have knocked me out with Surf. I was like, maybe, just maybe, he doesn't go for Surf here. He goes for Focus Blast, expecting Hydra to come in on a Volt Switch. Sadly, not the case. He just goes for the Surf, and Slowking is going to be able to pick up the first kill of the game. Kilowatt Troll going down kind of sucks, because that really was one of my main ways of being able to break his team. Now it's kind of going to come down to things like the Iron Treads or the Mega Gallade. It's basically a Mega Gallade. or Terra Gallade to set up and be able to start clicking buttons. Now, there is like one condition, I think, to Gallade being able to sweep here, and I need... Okay, yeah. I need Hydreigon to Terrastallize, because that will then mean that there is no Mind Games. I don't have to Psycho Cut into a Hydreigon and hope that he Terrastalizes, or Sacred Sword into a Hydreigon and hope he doesn't. So I really want him to... I want him to Terrastalize first, so I can just click the Psycho Cut later on. I'm just going to go for... So here I was debating at Mega Horn, but I was like, there's no point. Like, there's no point in doing that. I'm just going to go for a Volt Switch, pick up the momentum or pick up the kill. He goes into his Hydro, and if I had just clicked Mega Horn there, this thing would have taken like 60-70%. Sadly, didn't end up doing that. And I'm just going to go into my own Hydreigon, hoping that maybe he thinks that he miscalced, I guess, earlier with the Goldengo. Just thinks that I'm Choice Scarf but bulky or something. I don't know. This is always my best way of trying to deal with this. So yeah, I've just gone into my Hydra here, and he actually is going to Terrastalize. I guess he didn't want to deal with a potential Scarf. I don't know whether Terrastalizing at this point in the game was the right play, but you know, it could work out for him, especially like if he's able to pick up a kill later on because of it. I don't know. I think it's just better because you know it's going to be Psychic Terra on Gallade. That's like my win condition. That I've just like basically got that condition in, and now it's just setting up at the right time with Gallade and hoping for the best. We're going to take a quick sip of my drink whilst we wait for Matt to make his move. So in comes the Slowking again. It's absolutely going to just chew that Draco Meteor. Absolutely no problem at all for it. And I believe I just go for a U-turn, right? Tell me past Jack went for a U-turn here. I don't recall. I don't recall at all. Why am I hard switching? Why am I not just clicking U-turn? Why did I just not click U-turn? Jack, what are you doing? Stop being a moron. I'm sure I had my reasons for that. I'm sure I had my reasons. I don't know what it was. Shout out to Jack playing Pokemon Violet. Yeah. That just gives him this thing again. And I'm like, maybe I take a hit if he isn't Earth Power. I should take a hit here, and I don't think he was going to be Earth Power in this matchup. And yeah, we chewing. We get up a spike. Yeah, we're in a position where now we have a spike up. Cyclizar can possibly get rid of it later on in the game. And here I went for another spike. I think I went for another spike, just in case he decides he doesn't want to kill me for whatever reason on this turn. But he is just going to knock me out, so we are down 6-4? 5-4? Did I pick up a kill? Man, I am too tired for this commentary, but this commentary business. Yeah, so we're down 6-4. Okay, I'm back in the general vicinity of knowing what the shit's going on. So yeah, now I'm like, maybe this is my time to set up. He might fear a Scarf Gallade. If that's the case, then I can just click Psycho Cut. He's put himself in a position where he's actually very likely to just lose to Psycho Cut. He has two fighting types. He has a Terra Poison type. His Psychic Resists are both weakened, and he has one of them on Cyclizar. That doesn't want to take the hit either. It's been weakened, it's poisoned. I was like, this is my chance to try and set up. He is going to take his time on this, really thinking it through. And I calc this. Draco should never do enough to put me in range of Mach Punch. He gets like literally max roll, like near enough max roll on this. I'm like, shit. Now it comes down to, like, I think I'm calcing for a lot of this time. There's going to be some downtime. I am calcing, and I'm thinking, okay, so if he's Rocky Helmet on something, he's going to have to take that Rocky Helmet, and then he's going to knock me out with Breloom. Or he goes into Breloom, goes for the Mach Punch, and then knocks me out with Rocky Helmet. So Mach Punch I was calculating this all during this animation time. Mach Punch did 44 HP maximum if it is adamant with no boosting item. So he would need absolute max roll if he goes into Breloom after this to be able to knock me out. There is nothing else on his team that can take a hit. He has no priority outside of Mach Punch as far as I'm aware. So Gallade might well just be in position to sweep. Despite the amount of damage that it just took from Hydreigon, there's a chance that it can sweep. Slowking has gone down, so you know that's kind of nice for potential end game Iron Treads at this point. He is going to come in, he's going to take the spikes, so if he's Sash, then his Sash is broken. Goes to the Mach Punch, and he knocks me out. Yeah, sad time. I was heavily tilted at this point, just because I was like, oh man, if he didn't get that high roll on the Hydra Draco Meteor into high roll or highest roll Mach Punch, I would have just swept there, and I had to like compose myself and just be like, okay, well, it's not over. There's still a chance. There's still a chance. Go into Skeledirge. Honestly, there's a chance that Skeledirge itself can pull this back outside of Hydreigon, and Goldengo is actually very good against the rest. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, go for the Torch Song. He goes for the Spore. Safety Goggles coming in big, coming in huge. And we are then able to take out the Breloom. That is one of the biggest threats. It is one of the things that was preventing my Iron Treads from realistically being able to just kind of click buttons. There's still a couple of conditions that I have to meet, weakening Hydreigon before Iron Treads can actually just click Heavy Slam and knock it out. We didn't see a fighting or a ground type move from Hydra early on, so there is a chance. There is a chance that it doesn't have anything that can knock out the Iron Treads, and I could just Heavy Slam it twice. So that's the game plan I'm going for now. Time is getting a little bit low. We gotta just kind of go for it. It's not boots. Good to know it's not boots on this. And I think it's just he can't rapid spin. I'm pretty sure he's just going to go for a knockoff. At this point, I'm pretty happy to take that knockoff. Nothing else on my team wants to. So I kind of got to stay in. I'm put in this position where I almost have to just stay in and Torch Song, take the knockoff, and try and 1v1 simply with just Skeledirge. As he goes for a Dragon Tail. And Dragon Tail, honestly, was worse, I think, than knockoff, because I could have kept staying in and Torch Songing. And this just throws me straight out into my Hydra. This is not what I want out. This is not what I want out at all. And it puts me in a position. It does put me in a position for sure. I think, judging off calcs, I should be able to live a Dragon Tail. If he goes for a negative priority move, then I can probably knock it out with Dark Pulse. But he's just going to go for a U-turn. It's going to do a lot of damage, but doesn't knock me out. And that's kind of vital. If he goes into I Am Valiant here, then I'm in a bit of a pickle, you could say. I'm in for a tough time. If he goes into his own Hydra, then I will just fall over to whatever he wants to go for. If he goes into Goldengo, then I assume he's faster. But he's going to go out into the Hydra. He's going to take this Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse damage is fantastic. It's so nice. That puts it in range, potentially, of Heavy Slam. As you see, there is 3 minutes left, and we need a miracle, I think, at this point to be able to win this game. All we're going to need Iron Treads to just come in clutch. He sets up the Stealth Rock, so he obviously is Skeledirge. He knows he's not boots, and I think he's just playing for the I Am Valiant endgame, which I think honestly Hydra endgame was probably going to be more beneficial to him, but yeah, I will take that. If he's going for Valiant endgame, though, it probably means that he's scarfed, if I had to assume. Because he wants me to take that those rock damage, and he's probably going to lock himself into like Shadow Ball, switch out, then go into something else, sack it to Iron Treads, come back in, click the fighting move. That's what I'm thinking. At this point, I'm like, I don't think there's any way I can win this, outside of he has not got a Scarfer. He goes out into Goldengo, so I'm guessing at this point he just doesn't want Skeledirge to come in on a free switch. Maybe he wants to get the I Am Valiant in on the Skeledirge. But regardless, at this point, I gotta click the button. I've just gotta click Heavy Slam. I think I've just gotta keep clicking it over and over and over and hope that I'm able to just knock him out. If I lose my Scarf on on this, I am probably going to lose the game. But we also have other requirements. So this entire game most likely will come down to whether or not I am able to knock out his Cyclozar with Heavy Slam. Here, if I don't knock him out and he goes for a knockoff, we probably lose this battle. If we Heavy Slam and we knock him out, we probably win this battle. It's a big turn. It's a huge turn. And with only, what, a minute left on the clock, I had to click the button. We get a crit. And I think, post-game discussion, that crit didn't matter. I think it was going to be a case of a roll regardless, but after he took the spike, I think he was at too little health to always be able to take that hit. And that just means that unless he has Scarf on this thing, Iron Treads is just going to clean up. Because there's no way that this lives. There's no way that Hydra lives on 2 HP. And we are going to be able to pick up a 2-0 win in a really close fought battle. Shout out to Matt, by the way, because at 4-2, he could have just let the timer go down. I think it probably would have been possible for him to win by timer. But, you know, I think we're all wanting to get these games done. So big shout out to Matt for finishing this game. Because he could, yeah, like I say, go for a timer and hope to win that way. But, yeah, it was a really fun game. Very close. It came down to a lot of reads. Like the read on the Goldengo, I think, was huge when I Earth powered it. The battle ends on 0 timer. We do win 2-0, and yeah, we are a pack to 1-1. We are neutral record. Our differential most definitely is not neutral. Can tell you that much for sure. Yeah, a huge win against somebody who I would consider probably like top 3 in the league. That was a much needed win, and the team worked much better than week 1. Did I bring any mons that I traded for? No, I didn't. So I didn't bring any traded mons, but at the same time, this just worked out better. It just worked out better, full stop. So yeah, next week we go up against D-Ray, the commissioner himself. I believe OG Reject. I could be wrong with that. I can't remember. Honestly, if he's not OG Reject, he might as well be. He is like Eggman through and through. Shout out to Matt as well, also being Eggman like 2.0. I don't know. I fucking knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, it was a really close game, really fun one. Make sure to go check out Matt's side. I'm sure if you follow Draft League content, you probably follow Matt anyway. But yeah, make sure to go check him out. Like if you enjoyed the battle, subscribe for future Draft League content. Like I say, next week will be a live com, back to normality. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Where was I? I don't know. Join us next week when we face D-Ray, and I'm gonna get rid of. I'm gonna end this commentary before I stumble over my words any more times. Okay, until next one. Have a great day, guys.